Hello, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saving United. This is episode 4, and I think we might be starting to climb the table. All right, then, guys. First things first, let's get you caught up on what we've done since you were last here. So, your last time with us was Chelsea away, and we just come off the back of a real poor run of defeats in a real tough run of fixtures. So we lost to Arsenal, lost to Chelsea in the League Cup, lost to City, and lost to Chelsea. Two back-to-back 3-0 defeats. After that, we scraped. It was a really scrappy 1-0 win against Brighton, and it was Sheshko getting the goal in the 39th minute. Of course, De Ligt got injured because injuries just seem to be a thing that happens to us all the time now. We decided to go back to the drawing board a little bit tactically, and I'll show you what we've done. But as you'll see, it's coincided with two pretty strong results. The first one being Leeds. Away at Leeds, they were down to 10 men, but we were also down to 10 men at the same time. So it was a pretty straightforward win for us away from home against our rivals. Goals from Onana, goals from Cunha, Fernandez getting a goal, thriving in a new role. I'll let you know that. And Sheshko came off the bench as well to get a goal. We managed to give some game time to Aiden Heaven as well, which was quite nice to be able to do, even if it was forced through sort of fitness. We then backed that one up with a 3-0 win at home to Brentford. Onana having a fantastic game, as did Mount, who got on the score sheet, and Cunha also got 2. After that, we got a draw away at Villa. Villa were down to 10 men. Again, it's just nice to have a red card that wasn't for us. Brian and Buemo got our goal. Their new signing, Brian Zaragoza, got theirs. We actually took the lead fairly early in that game. 6th minute, they pegged us back in the 53rd, and it was kind of a bit of a nothing game from there, really. And then more recently, we just got a good, solid 2-0 win. No frills, no spills. Onana with the goal and Fernandez getting another one, and again, thriving in this new position. So what have we done tactically to change things up? We've kind of moved to a diamond in midfield. We're keeping the same sort of similar principles in terms of shape to what we started with, the 4, the 3, and then instead of having a narrow 3 up front, we've got 2 with Bruno Fernandes with the arrow pointing up, so he's kind of joining to make that a 3 and causing a little bit of havoc with that sort of like late run into the box, which is what we're after. We've also asked the fullbacks just to sit a little bit more. We've taken off the arrows in midfield just to I think I was overcomplicating things by trying to get Onana to push up and Casemiro in that position to push up. And we've just been a bit more solid at the back since asking the left back and the right back to sit a little bit. Last things I need to catch you up on really are league table. We're currently in 10th. We've kind of been up and down from anything from sort of like 14th to 8th and 9th. But currently we're settled down at the moment in 10th position. But we are now only 3 points off of Villa in 6th, and only 5 points off of Man City, who are in 4th. So things have improved, and they needed to really. We're trying to free up some funds in the transfer market. At the moment, we've got Tom Heaton did leave the club earlier on this month. A few days ago, he went to Plymouth for 50 grand. And we're also trying to do a deal for Jadon Sancho to go to Turkey for £1.8 million. Besiktas or Galatasaray is probably going to be his most likely outcome. And then in a couple of weeks' time, Sekou Kone is going to be leaving to go to Juventus for 160 million, meaning we're bringing in another couple of £1 million, which we kind of need really. We need to try and balance the books a little bit, get some players off the wage bill. Jadon Sancho will help with that, obviously, and maybe just free up some funds for us to go and strengthen this squad in the transfer market. So today's episode, we are going to bring you 3 games. We're going to play the Everton game, we're going to play the Spurs game, and we're going to play the Wolves game as a part of this episode. Everton are up next. I think, have we played them already this season? We did, and we got a draw at home. I'm really hoping that as I mentioned in the last episode, we can really put on a little bit of a run now. We got a good chunk of games here before we have to play Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and Chelsea all back to back. So I'm hoping that we can just keep putting wins on the board, keep getting points on the board, and go from there. We did get drawn against Harrogate in the third round of the cup. They are currently seventh in Division 3, so League 2. So again, that'll just be another chance for us to rest some players, do a bit of rotating. Amadou Onana has a new lease of life in this new formation. He is, as you can see, his form was good anyway, but his form is now very, very good. Cunha's doing well as well. He's got himself onto the score sheet a little bit more. He's now got 6 and 16 with 2 assists. Xerxes, a little bit off the ball. He hasn't scored since, but he's still one of our highest average rating. Lammens, the goalkeeper's doing well. And Bruno Fernandes now has 5 in 15. So all in all, things are starting to look on the up after a real rocky start to the season. The board weren't happy, the fans weren't happy. A few of the players, like Onana, says he's lost faith in the management. He's not playing like it, and I'm hoping that continues because we've got some work to do to get us into the European spots for next season, and that's got to be the aim for us, really. So Jadon Sancho has decided he is going to turn down Besiktas, but he is going to go to Galatasaray for £1.8 million. And people will probably be looking at it and saying, £1.8 million, it's not a lot of money. It's not, but you've got to remember, we're playing in a game that was out 25 years ago. So in 2001, it's probably a fair amount of money for someone like Jadon Sancho. Because he's on loan out the club, I don't know if he will leave straight away. Yeah, he looks like he does. So we should have that money available to us straight away. We don't. It's just gone into the club coffers, apparently, which is a little bit frustrating for us. But I'm hoping if we can just move on a few more reserve players, then we should have a little bit of money to go and do something, really, and bring a few players in. Okay, so first game of this episode, and we are going to be away, I believe, to Everton. And it's going to be the first chance for you to see this this new sort of system in action, I suppose. We are going to have to make some changes because of an injury to Mason Mount. He went off with a bad ankle against Burnley, and he's been out. He's going to be out for 2 weeks from now. I kind of wrote him off at the start of the season. I'm starting to come round to the idea of having a Mason Mount in the side. I don't think it'll be a long-term thing, but certainly he isn't doing too badly in the short term. We need to bring somebody in to sit on the bench. It would be Agate, but we've got that silly foreign player rule. So I think it's probably going to have to be James Scanlon. We might need to start moving on some of these foreign players. Agate is the one that isn't really getting as much game time, I think. We have got the sub-goalkeeper that we could probably move on, but if we're looking at the importance of some of these players, Agate is probably going to be the one that we can move on, get some money in, and bring someone else into that midfield. Other than the Mason Mount injury, is there a player to come back in? De Ligt could come back in possibly for Martinez, I'm thinking, who is doing okay, but I'm really preferring Maguire and De Ligt. Luke Shaw is holding down that left back spot. Mazraoui is doing the same at right back. So that kind of back four and the goalkeeper kind of picks itself with Onana in front. We are going with Xerxes and with Cunha at the moment as our main two, and then Casemiro, Mainu and Fernandes are going to make up the rest of that diamond for this game against Everton. We're getting kicked off. Mark Clattenburg's our referee, by the way. He's obviously finished with the Gladiators and he's coming back to the Premier League, according to a Championship manager. Since we have changed to this kind of diamond and told the fullbacks to sit a little bit, we have been a lot more defensively sound, which is good, and it helps when your goalkeeper's in form, as Lammen seems to be at the moment. Onana has been fantastic since we changed to this system. He is definitely going to be a great signing for us going forward. We're at half time. We're 0-0. They've had 3 shots, 3 on target. We've had 2 on target. It's been a bit of a nothing game, really. I'm expecting to have to make subs soon because everybody, apart from that sort of back four and Onana, is having a little bit of a stinker, really. This only happens when I start recording. As soon as I hit record, we go to pot. We are going to have to make some changes. I think we're going to do both of the front two. Xerxes off, Cunha off, Sheshko and Buemo coming on. And then maybe we look at dropping Fernandez back into the midfield and bringing on Scanlon in the 10 for Kobe Mainu, who's also on a yellow card, so we have to keep an eye on that. I mean, Onana is as well, but I kind of trust Onana a bit more than I trust Kobe Mainu on a yellow card after his red card early on in the first game of the season. We could really do with a win here. We're not going to get it. We've got a draw against Everton. That's 2 draws against Everton so far this season. Not a great result for us, really, on the balance of things. That's a game we should be winning and pushing ourselves up even closer to those European spots. And with the likes of Crystal Palace dropping points, they actually drew with Brighton. That's actually probably an opportunity missed to catch up with them. We are straight into the second game of this episode, and to be honest, I like the fact that these games are coming at you quick and fast. That's what Championship Manager 0102 was all about, wasn't it? Just getting games through. You could easily do a season in a day if you wanted to, and that's kind of the draw to it to me. It's a lot simpler to play than some of the newer football managers. And I think that's what's keeping the game alive, really, is just that simplicity, still very, very addictive. We are going to make one change for the Spurs game. Patrick Dorgu is going to come in for Luke Shaw, who just isn't fit. He hasn't got a great injury record, Luke Shaw, but he's, touch wood, he's been all right this season, and he's played pretty much the majority of the games he's been available for. But yeah, Dorgu's going to come in. That is the only change I'm going to make. I do trust this system from what I've seen off camera, and this is why Cunha is thriving in this position up front, and he's put us 1-0 up early doors against Spurs. Tottenham, who are again above us in the table. This is not a bad win. We are just over halfway through the season, and we are 4 points off of Chelsea and Spurs, who are fourth or were fourth and fifth before that Tottenham goal. Well, then we've scored again. It's coming at you thick and fast here. We've scored again. I don't even know who that was. Bruno Fernandes has cancelled out Porro's equaliser. So we are currently in 10th position, and we are still 4 points behind Chelsea and Spurs. We really need to close that gap. And I think we can. I think we stumbled across something here that seems to be working quite well. This would be a big, big win at home to Spurs if we can see it through. And with how the season's gone so far, it is a big if. We are going to make subs as we make it 3-1. Onana again getting on the score sheet. Kobe Mainoo's not having a great game. Scanlon's going to come on for him. We're just going to do the same change that we did in that last game, which was dropping Bruno Fernandes a little bit deeper, because he can do that, and Scanlon's going to play as that number 10. James Scanlon, who is coming on really, really well, as you can see. He hasn't started in the league for us yet, but he's playing lots and lots of games for Gibraltar, and he's getting lots of good opportunities off the bench for this United first team. Condition-wise, we probably need to make 3 changes here. Dalot and, Casemiro. Can we afford to take Casemiro off? I don't think we can. I think Casemiro, we're going to have to just see if he can see out the rest of the game. And Sheshko is going to come on for the other goal scorer, Cunha. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that's going to be enough for us to be able to see this out. We're 3-1 up. We're still in 10th. We're closing the gap, slowly but surely. We've made it 4. There's no reason for us to worry about attacking too much now. We just need to sit in a little bit, just see this out. Nothing stupid. I'm looking at De Ligt with the yellow card. I'm looking at Casemiro on the yellow card. Nothing stupid, please. We've absolutely battered them. We've won 4-1. I think we've turned the corner in this project, and it's come just at the right time. The board are pleased with that game over Spurs, and rightly so, because it really was a bit of a complete performance, really. Yeah, we conceded, but was getting 9s and 10s all over the board. I'm a lot happier now than I was maybe a couple of episodes ago, just put it that way. And again, we are straight away into another game here. We've got Wolves, and I think at the rate that we're getting through games, it is Christmas time. We are playing sort of like all these free games have come in the space of 7 days. So I reckon we could probably sneak in the Fulham game as part of this episode as well. It is Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys, everybody. There's a little present for you, an extra game. I don't want to make too many changes, but I know I'm going to have to, looking at the fitness of some of these players. Luke Shaw can come back in, which is great. Dorgu didn't do too badly in the last game, but Luke Shaw, he's my starting left back. He's a big part of the identity of Man United and what we're trying to do. I also think the Lit is going to come out, and we can put in Lisandro Martinez for this one. We're going to trust him not to get sent off like he likes to do. Casemiro is struggling for fitness. The other option is Ugarte, but that means that we can't play Martinez unless, again, we risk not having a goalkeeper on the bench, which I want to play Martinez for this one. We are going to risk it. We'll put the Lit onto the bench here, and we'll bring in Ugarte for Casemiro. Yeah, so Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Martinez, Mazraoui, Onana, Ugarte, Mainu, Fernandez, Cunha, Xerxes up front. I like it. That's what we're going to go with. Cunha and Xerxes have really sort of cemented themselves as my go-to front two here for good reason. This is only his 5th goal of the season, so he started the season on fire and then probably went about 10 games without a goal. But actually, he's come back into it now. Bruno Fernandes makes it 2-0. And Cunha, to finish off that front three that I was just talking about, has made it 3. Now, the worst thing that could happen here would be if Lamins gets an injury. Mainu scores. He takes his opportunity. He hasn't had many games this season, Kobe Mainu. He's made it 4-0 here. Immediately, I'm just looking at the condition of the players. There's a few players that need a rest. So I'm going to bring on the young lad, Scanlon. And we're going to play him in the 10, drop Ugarte back, drop Fernandes back. And at this stage, we're having a bit of a party in the stands. And we are just making sure that we don't get any injuries, really. It moves us up to 9th. Just a brief look at the league table during half-time. Moves us up to 9th. Still 4 points off of Newcastle, who have been flirting with the top spot a lot. Arsenal are currently top. And they are, 7 points ahead of us? It's not out the realms of possibility that we could catch them. And this result is doing absolutely nothing for Wolves. It puts them rock bottom. So I'm not surprised that we're beating them heavily because, as we know from real life, this is a pretty poor Wolves squad. It's going to turn into a bit of a rout. Xerxes got another. Who got on the score sheet there? Cunha got another one there. It's time just to keep an eye on the fitness. Dallow's going to come on and play left back. And Mbeumo, who has kind of fallen out of favour, is going to come on for Cunha, who's not going to get a chance for his hat-trick. Xerxes might get his hat-trick. He's going to have to do it quick if he wants to do it. And he's got man of the match, Xerxes, which is good for him because, as I say, he only scored 4 in 12 previously. So for him to get another 2 should really boost his confidence. That's a massive win. A really big win against bottom of the league, Wolves. And looking at the time, we are going to be able to squeeze another one in. You lucky, lucky people. And it's against Fulham, who have just lost heavily to Brentford. 3-0 to Brentford. They're down in 15th. Don't be surprised if it's another big, big win for Man United. So, Birmingham have just made a bid for Mason Mount. Birmingham, who are 13th in the Championship. have come in for Mason Mount. And if you go back to episode 1, you will know that I put him straight away onto the transfer list without even thinking about it, because I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm just bitter that he went to United in the fashion that he did. But actually, he has proved me wrong, and he has done brilliant work in that midfield. At the same time, everyone's got their price. If they offered me 8.5 million, they could have him. I've taken him off the transfer list for now. I don't think he would go to Birmingham. He's still in the England squad, despite not playing a lot of games for us at the start of the season. He was still getting selected for England. So I cannot see a world in which he would go to Birmingham. But then again, stranger things have happened. We're going to turn it down, see what they come back with. So Casemiro's contract is coming to an end. And I'm kind of looking at him thinking, could we squeeze one more year out of him? I initially held back from offering him a new deal, like when I offered Harry Maguire one at the start of the season. I kind of feel like he's proven himself as a useful player in what is a particularly small squad at the moment. He wants to be does he want to be a player coach? He does want to be a player coach. That could be a bit of a bonus for us, really. Speaking of bonuses, he only wants £600 for an assist bonus, which we'll take. He is on 10 grand a week and he's asking for 18 with a hefty signing on fee. But I suppose he's doing the dual role, so we could probably allow that. But we are going to sign him up to a new deal. It's a bit of a long-term one, but I do feel like he's a player we need to keep around, and he's a player coach. So he could retire, or we could just leave him not playing, and he'd still be at the club as a coach, which is good. So Birmingham have decided they don't want to follow up their interest in Mason Mount, which I didn't think they would. But we're going to play our final game of this episode. It is against Fulham. I mean, would we be mad to make changes if we didn't have to? Looking at it, I think De Ligt's the only one we'd want to come back in, really. So we will do that. De Ligt will come back in. We will put a goalkeeper back on the bench. Just because I don't want to tempt fate by doing that too often, if I'm honest. We need to try and get Beardiola, who is a good player, into the side a bit more. He can play right back, but then Mazraoui is doing very, very well at right back. So I think that's going to be a problem for another day. We have to concentrate on just getting this right for the game against Fulham. Casemiro, I think, has to come back in. At least onto the bench. Kobbie Mainoo, didn't he score? He did score in the last game. I don't want to make too many changes, as I say, but maybe it is Ugarte out and Casemiro back into that midfield. And we go from there. That's what we're going to do. Final game of the episode. We're at home to Fulham. Another big win would do me very, very well, please, boys. It's going to be one of them. It's going to be one of them. Casemiro, who we have bought in back into the starting lineup, is going to be sacrificed early doors because Luke Shaw has let me down. He's let the fans down. He's let his family down. Dalot's going to come on for Casemiro and play left back. And it just feels like we're on the back foot already. We're 15 minutes in. Was it a straight red? I think it is a straight red. We're going to have a look at half time to see what he's done. But that could make today a little bit tricky at a time where we could do with straightforward games. A goal before half time for us would be lovely, but Fulham are going to get one. Let's have a look at what Luke Shaw did. Chukwueze picked up on the loose ball. Chukwueze took on Shaw. Chukwueze went down from a shove from Shaw. So he's given him a little push and he's been sent off for a straight red. Is that a bit harsh? A straight red for a push? Maybe. Maybe it's a little bit harsh. We need to make some changes here. We need to do something. This would be a very, very annoying game to lose. Agato is going to come on for Mainu. We're probably going to push Bruno back up, push Anana up here, and maybe we do Cunha for Sheshko, maybe. See if that's enough. Oh, I was about to lose my shit, ladies and gentlemen, but the referee's flag has gone up. That saved a little bit of a meltdown there, because this is really, really frustrating. We put together a string of really good results, and then we go and lose to Fulham at home. Do we? We do. We lose to Fulham at home, which does us absolutely no favours, keeps us in 10th. I think someone's going to have to save United from me at this rate. The board are unhappy with the performance shown. I've just seen. They've given us the vote of confidence and announced that my job as manager is safe. I don't know how I feel about that. That's never normally a good place to be in. We just lost too many games at the start of the season. We went through that bad run of 4 tough games in a row, 4 defeats in a row. It's still on. It's still on for us to get into Europe, that's for sure. We probably only need to get into 7th spot maybe, which we are 4 points behind. And that will be an improvement from where we are currently, because we're not in any European competition. But something's got to give. What are we going to do for the next episode? I mean, I could just bring you back in for Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City and Chelsea, and do those 4 again like we did last time, and play a little bit off camera. And then if I'm still in a job, you'll see me at Anfield on the 3rd of March. Wish me luck. That is all for today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, do give us a like, do give us a subscribe, and let us know in the comments that you're watching. Are you enjoying it? What can I be doing differently to try and save Manchester United? It's going to be a tough run of games coming up soon. Until the next time, take care.